but let's see how this performs. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and over the next little bit I'm going to do my best to review more affordable cars because obviously the economy is struggling quite a bit, and so, well, we've got to come back down to earth and review stuff that, well, everyone can afford. So in today's video, we'll be reviewing a gas V8 Chevy Silverado 2500. Before getting into the video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Chevy here in Provo, Utah for giving me some time with this truck. This truck is available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you're gonna save time and money the next time purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 6.6 liter gas V8 that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. It is good for 401 horsepower and then 464 pound-feet of torque. Now for the 2024 model year, this will actually get the same 10-speed that is paired to the Duramax powertrain. Now let's go over the front end of this Silverado. So this is the WT trim, aka the work truck trim. And you guys can see we've got this little black accent piece there on either side of the hood, and then also with the venting there in the center. And then here's a quick look at the turn signal indicator light. And then with the headlights, you got halogen bulbs. And then notice the whole front grille is all blacked out. We got the Chevy bow tie, it's also blacked out. Chrome front bumper here at the bottom. And then you guys can see here with the tow hooks on either side. And it's a truck. Coming around the side here, tire and wheel setup is 265/70/17 in the front and in the rear as well, which is a pretty normal setup for a truck. Well, unless it's a luxury truck, then you get like 20-inch wheels. But I actually really like the design. Like usually, quote-unquote, base model trucks usually have pretty crappy looking wheels. These actually look really good in my opinion. Now, we do have independent front suspension, just like other new Silverados. And then you guys can see here with the molding for the fender flare, we have our 2500 HD badge. And then you guys can see with the mirrors, we got the trailer mirrors. Notice the door handles match the trim for the fender flares. And then we got our little side bed step. And then this is where you fill up with the gas. Notice there's a little, that's funny, it like look at this, it like squishes in. That's obviously where the DEF would go in if it was a diesel. And then here's the leaf springs in the back. Super beefy, solid rear axle though. And then 4x4 badge there. And here's our side view. So here's our key fob, pretty simplistic. It's actually Chevy's older key fob, funny enough. But anyways, we'll press this a couple times. Payload capacity is 3,615 pounds. Towing capacity is 14,500 pounds. Now this has an 8-foot bed, which for those of you that need to work, this works out. Haha, see there. LED bed lights here in the back. No liner, but I mean, you can obviously get that pretty easily after the fact. Now, I don't think this automatically raises up now, so you do have to lift it up yourself, but it's cool that it has like the drop down function. And I guess that we will finish things up with the rear here. So you guys can see with the base taillights, and we still have the bumper steps here, and then the receiver hitch there in the center, and then our little exhaust tip there in the back. And there you go. Here's the door panel in the rear. You guys can see here with the kind of like harder touch, I guess, padding is what we'll call it. But again, work truck, gotta remember that. Cloth seats here in the back. And then they do lift up, so you got some storage underneath. And, ooh, hoist myself up. This is the smaller cab, so you guys can see, you can fit an adult back here, but it's not like crazy spacious. We do have some vents here in the back. And then it looks like the rear glass is fixed. And let's head to the front. Now here is the front door panel. You guys can see again, kind of like the harder touch padding there. And then quick look at the trailer mirrors. And down below, lock and unlock, pretty normal stuff. Mirror adjustments right here. All of our window controls. Front one is automatic, well, driver one, I should say. And then here are the front seats again with that darker colored cloth. If you guys don't believe me, $36.15 for the payload. And then 14,500. And then gross vehicle weight rating is just over 10,000 pounds with this truck. Pedal layout, and then here's our parking brake right here, and then you guys can see with the light control, and then for the cargo light. And then for our driveline select, we do have a 4-wheel high and 4-wheel low, but we do not have like an auto mode like what you can get on higher up packages. And then there is a trailer tow mode, so just flick that way and that'll turn on the trailer tow mode. And let's pop in. Now here is the steering wheel. You guys can see pretty basic from a material standpoint, but you can get a good grip on it. That's all that matters. There are actually radio controls on the back of the steering wheel, which is pretty cool. We do have our cruise control, controls to center stack, voice command controls, turn signal, windshield wiper stock, and column shifter here. And notice we got the plus and the minus for that 6-speed automatic transmission. And there you go. Now here is the center gauge cluster. You guys can see mostly analog. We do have some different screens though that we can scroll through to see different bits of info on the truck, like fuel economy, for example, and basic information. Notice that it shows us like, hey, 2-wheel drive. Then if I put it in the trailer tow mode, we got a little trailer there. So pretty cool. Now here's the center infotainment screen. First off, we pop in reverse. We do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn the steering wheel, and notice I can switch it to like the trailer tow mode as well, which is pretty cool. Now as for the rest of the screen, it's got this little shortcut bar here at the bottom. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is pretty cool. Other than that though, I mean, it's a pretty decent infotainment system, easy to use, and we've got some shortcut buttons here at the bottom. Single zone climate control down below, and then we have like these super big blank switches, but tailgate drop down, hazard lights, stability control, and then we got our trailer brake controls right here, and then we got all of our outlets and center console setup. And that's the padding there on top and the cup holder, and then it does turn into a seat, which is pretty cool. There is no like under seat storage though. I was just checking for you guys. Do have a double glove box situation though, so plenty of storage space there. And then notice, you know, really easy to clean surfaces again. Work truck life, and we got a regular mirror here at the top, lighter, well, kind of like lighter-ish colored headliner. Now here's the window sticker for this 2023 Silverado. You guys can see with the standard equipment, and by the way, warranty information: 5-year 60,000 mile on the powertrain, 3-year 36,000 mile on the bumper to bumper. 45,900 is the base MSRP after all options, including the work truck convenience package. Total MSRP is $51,790. I'm gonna have to walk back really far because this is a big truck. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, and throughout the rest of the rear, and let's set off. So, setting off in the gas V8 Silverado 2500, and oh my goodness, I cannot see anything because of that sun, and the visor's too short to help me out at all, so I guess that we're flying blind for a minute. No, I'm just kidding, I can kind of see. But anyways, let's talk about how this truck drives. And like I said, this will get an updated transmission for 2024. So if you don't like this 6-speed automatic, well, Chevy is the change in it. So first off, the one thing I love about the Silverado is the fact that it does have independent front suspension. It helps out from a ride quality standpoint quite a bit, but it also helps from a steering standpoint quite a bit. Like this has pretty good maneuverability. Again, you gotta remember, this has an 8-foot long bed, and it's pretty easy to drive. Like right now, I'm daily driving a Honda Civic. And so, you know, going from a Honda Civic to this should probably feel like pretty big and intimidating, and it doesn't. It feels pretty easy to drive. And aside from that, seat comfort's, it's okay. These seats definitely are a little bit on the harder side of things, but they're not too uncomfortable where I would be upset about them. And I guess I decided to start driving at like the worst possible time of the day, but let's see how this performs. Okay, so I can see why they're switching to the 10 speed. So this isn't bad. The gear shifts are pretty smooth. The biggest downside to this powertrain is the fact that the gearing's really long, like really, really long. And so, oh my gosh, that sun again. So what that does is it makes it so that it doesn't feel as powerful, because it's just, again, you got super long gearing, it seems like. Other than that though, I do like this V8. Like, let's actually, got no one back here. Let's stop here for a second. So, okay, so it should be in first gear now. Okay, whoa, was not expecting that. It was totally just spinning the rear tires. I was definitely not expecting. Goodness. So yeah, that's the thing. This that shows you, like, this is a torquey, powerful V8. It just needs a slightly more modern transmission, and that's why they're switching to the 10-speed. That was, I feel bad now. I did not mean to do that with the truck. I'm sorry, Chevy and Provo. I'm sorry. Other than that, though, I mean, there's not a lot to talk about. Like, it's a basic work truck, but it's crazy that, like, a truck with an infotainment screen, a backup camera, automatic climate controls, automatic windows, like, this is what's considered basic at this point. Like, this is how, what's the word for it? Spoiled. This is how spoiled we have become. Like, we need all these features or for it to be considered basic, and then for it to be considered fully loaded, we basically need the truck to be able to drive itself, give us a massage, all that kind of stuff. And so it's interesting how times have changed. But let me know what you guys think about this truck. I'm all about this gas V8. I am all about the new 10-speed that'll be paired to this. I think that'll improve this setup quite a bit. It's solid with this 6-speed, but yeah, when they introduce the 10-speed for 2024, it'll be a game changer for sure. That's gonna sum things up with our video on this gas base model Silverado 2500. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the large mailer Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with this truck. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you.